Cheeseburger.
We don't let facts get in the way. We're the middle class holes.
Ass kick or something like that.
Anyone ever tell you, Murr, when you go into work, looks like someone has a case of the Smokies?
Nah, man. Nah, man. I believe you get your ass kicked or something like that.
That's right. The UK, starting if you are, I think it's taking place here in 2028. If you're born after January 1st of 2009, you can no longer purchase cigarettes in the United Kingdom. That includes England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. I know this makes your American heart just pump blood through your vessels. Kind of, if you're a smoker.
Well, I don't even care if you're a smoker or not. Yeah, you know, this is one of the things that I've had to come to terms with over like the last, I don't know, decade or so. I can't remember when it was that I learned that like the Brits don't have like freedom of speech. Like that's not a thing. Like the Canadians don't have freedom of speech. Like we have like this thing that's fucking like rock solid guaranteed to us. Like we can talk shit. We won't go to jail. Doesn't mean public opinion won't fucking like ruin your life or anything like that. But you will not be imprisoned for your vocalized thoughts unless you are openly just threatening somebody. So, with that said, the freedom to do good or bad things, that's freedom. Like, how do you know what the good thing is unless there's a bad thing that you have to make a choice whether you do it or not? And this fucking smoking thing. I know smoking's bad, but man, I remember how much fun I had in my youth ripping through fucking packs of Marlboro Lights, knowing they were bad for me. But when I finally got to 40 and I was like, you need to quit smoking these fucking cigarettes, man. Like, vape, do something else. But you gotta quit inhaling the burning embers of a cash crop that built the goddamn modern fucking civilization that we know and love. It just, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. I'm really torn on this. Well, what's your perspective? Why not just make them fucking illegal, period, all around?
Yeah, like what, this grandfathered rule in? I guess I get that because you're going to have riots and protesting. Now, you're not going to have protesting. And it's not going to be peaceful if you do in the UK. Sorry, UK folks. You motherfuckers are going to be burning torches and fucking and smashing in Buckingham Palace and any other royal kingdom and Parliament. Shit's going to be a goddamn shit show. So I guess it's the only way you can do it.
Parliament too, man. I could take that.
Yeah, I know. But I think they're probably in there smoking cigarettes like any minute now.
Smoking parliaments in Parliament.
That's right. But I get it. Okay. Because one, smoking has decreased for the most part. Now I really don't have any data. All I can use is anecdotal because like I work with a younger crew and none of them smoke cigarettes. Anyone that did smoke cigarettes in the office has since quit. But, well, not in the office, excuse me. They would go out back and smoke like a normal human being. But I personally think this just lends itself to more black market shit. Someone is going to have a relative or a brother or a parent who's going to buy them these, and they're going to sell them to their friends.
Well, I think smoking's gone down because now you've got vapes. You've got your pouch, your smokeless pouch tobaccos or whatever. Not even tobacco, like your Zens and things like that aren't even like tobacco based. They've also taxed the living fuck out of them, man. Like, yeah. A pack of like Marlboros it's like $10 now, and that's just right here in Maryland. I don't even know what they cost in like New York City or places where they tax the living shit out of everything. That's why smoking's decreased. Like, I get it, but I don't know, man. I don't know. Nicotine's a thing. Thankfully, like, you know, Dr. Joe Rogan has told me that nicotine stimulates your brain, wards off certain neurological disorders. So I'm like, all right, well, I guess I'm staying on the train here. I don't know. I just don't like someone telling me that it is illegal for me as an adult to not be even capable of doing something if I so choose to attempt it. I just, like I said, like, how do you know that? I don't know, man. I don't fucking know.
Okay. I would be fine with a total sale outlaw. Okay. Sales of tobacco. All right. And if you want to grow it on your own and roll it in your own papers, fine. You can do that. That's not illegal. Smoke them if you got them. Smoke them if you grow it.
God, man, you know what you would do? You would create an entire new industry for people who like to fucking stretch their earlobes out and tattoo their neck. There would be a whole fucking new barista-esque industry. You're talking like almost like
and that's
yeah,
the problem with this is the kind of the libertarian in me is that the government won't allow that because they can't get their fucking glibs on it. They got to be able to make some money on it. And they fucking have, like you said, they've taxed the living shit out of this industry, and fine, that's okay. Keep taxing. They'll keep buying. People will keep smoking. It doesn't, well, I want to say perhaps it has stopped smoking a little bit. I know for a fact my mom stopped smoking because it was expensive as shit in the early 70s in Hawaii when she went to grad school there. Just like, she was like, I couldn't afford it. So, and I knew I needed to quit at some point, yada, yada. But, this my idea of, okay, you grow it in your backyard, you buy some papers, and you roll it. Then the government's like, wait a minute, this is lucrative. We can't do that.
Well, I don't know what smoking's like in the UK. I know in Europe it's a big deal. Like, you go to Spain and tell them that they can't fucking smoke before and after their siestas. Yeah, you're right. There's going to be a very wheezy riot in the streets. It might not last that long.
That's
3 hours a day, maybe 4 days a week. Yeah, something like that. They're going to be upset about it. That's for sure. But what are, okay, if you start to pull on this thread though, like, what are other things that are like dangerous to your health that now we go ahead and say that the next generation's not even allowed to try it? I don't know. Like,
I mean, the only comparable thing's alcohol.
It's like driving cars kill people. But what I did want to say though is, pot's been legalized recreationally, like all over the U.S. and like different states, and they tax the living shit out of it. I have not heard a person groan about the taxes they pay on their, legal to buy marijuana because they fucking wanted it, and now they don't have to fucking go to some trailer down by the sand pit where some dude's like, hang here for 20 minutes, I'll be right back, and you got to sit alone while his mom walks through the door with a bag of groceries. That's worth an extra $20. $20.
Hey, you must be Pete's friend.
Hi, Mrs. I don't know your name.
Hey, are you Pete's friend? Yeah, totally.
But I don't know if that's something they've experienced over in the UK or not. I don't know how much say they have on diddly shit any fucking more, any which way. Maybe this is just an American perspective that others don't have. I don't know. Do they want this? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how they vote on things over there. I only know how we do things, and it ain't exactly spick and span clean or anything.
You're right. We almost, and I'm going to be over in Germany here in a couple weeks. I guess I'm going to go to Germany to get a UK's perspective.
Well,
I'm hoping
by the
maybe
way,
there's some people from the UK there.
Talking to your brother, by the way, I got a bone to pick with an American company that likes to make profit, Verizon. So your brother went through all this horse shit to get a new phone activated because he's over in Germany right now. Something with the SIM card, blah, blah, blah. He texts me or Facebook messages me one morning. We've been discussing his issues with his phone. He's like, hey, man, real quick, can I have a activation code sent to your phone? Then you text me the whatever, the number. Like, yeah, cool. Done. Get the activation code, send it to him. Eureka! Got it! Finally! After fucking God knows how many weeks, I've got a phone again. It works. Here's my new number. Blah, 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 blah. So then I'm on a break at work, and I'm like, all right, I'll give him a call. I call him. We talk for like an hour. Okay, break goes through, get back to work, still on the phone. We're talking about the late night wars with Jay Leno and David Letterman and how Conan worked into it and yada, yada, yada. Very mind-bending conversation here. As soon as I hang up, I get a text message. International phone call fee, $128.37.
Oof. Damn, yeah. I know you love Dewey, but I don't know about that much.
I told him, too. I was like, that was not a $130 phone call, I have to say. We've had better. But I'm pissed at Verizon because I even remember as a kid, if you made a long-distance phone call, it'd be like, long-distance rates apply. It would say something like that on a fucking standard-ass landline where they were using, I don't know, I'm imagining glass tubes with like metal sheets inside going click, 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 the whole time you dialed things. Couldn't Verizon just at the beginning say, international rates apply? Then it would have triggered me to be like, oh shit, I'm going to call and be like, hey man, I think we're getting charged for this call, so let's use Messenger or some other form of communication to talk.
Yeah. Damn, $137. Oof.
Hey, I don't want to exaggerate. $127.
127. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't carry the one there. I was getting international on myself. Damn, man. And again, you hit the nail on the head about the riveting stuff we were talking about, rehashing a late night war that ended, I don't know, 12, 13 years ago.
Well, and it sucks because, Conan's now got one of the bigger podcasts in the podcast space. I'd like listening to Conan chat via podcast. I want him to have a show, but I don't know. Bill Maher still seems to be doing gangbusters on HBO. I like Bill Maher. I'm not, he and I don't have the same political persuasion, but I like his perspective on things. I thought Conan had a deal with HBO Max or whatever the fuck it's called now. Could he do? I don't know. Letterman's got that My Next Guest Needs No Introduction show.
Yeah.
Could we do something like that?
I guess. I just think the talk show thing for Conan is sales. And I don't mean that he couldn't be successful or funny. I just think mentally and a mentality in his, in his ether is just kind of come and gone. I that's just my 2 cents. I just don't think he wants to do that anymore.
Well, he still does the abroad show where he goes to different countries and fucks.
But I mean, a desk and a sit down and your late night talk show variety type thing. I just don't think he wants to do that anymore.
I mean, I don't know if you have to do variety. I mean, technically his podcast, I mean, there's a video version of his podcast. It's just him sitting across with headphones and a microphone doing what we're doing right now with people much more, I don't know. I don't
esteemed.
Want to say esteemed. Yeah, that's a good word. Much more esteemed than us, and they're just having conversations. Yeah. I don't know. Like, God, if you ever get a chance, watch the Jim Downey episode. Jim Downey's the guy who wrote with Norm for Weekend Update. He was a longtime writer on SNL. God, that guy's just dry funny. Just dry fucking hilarious, man. But the whole thing...
The name like Jim Downey just suits dry. That
Jim Downey, okay, here you go. Jim Downey is the guy who is hosting the game show in Billy Madison where him and the other guy are going back and forth for trivia.
Yeah, like an IQ test. Yeah,
and he's the one that gives the what you've just said. Has just, that rambling nonsense that you've just said has left us all dumber and blah 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 blah. That's Jim Downey. Yes.
Got it. I see.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy. Yeah. Actually, that comes up at the first thing. Jim Downey was a the character actor ? Acting breakdown. It's him being the game show host. Says, oh, that guy.
Oh, that guy. Yeah. Oh, that guy. That guy that's probably written some of the funniest fucking lines. He wrote Deep Thoughts, man. Oh, my God. Do you remember Deep Thoughts?
Of
no,
course,
that was Jack Handy. That was Jack Handy. My bad. I'm sorry.
Wait, Jack Handy wrote that? Or was that just... I thought Jack Handy was just a made-up guy.
Well, if he was, then that's got Jim Downey's hands all over it. It's fucking amazing. Oh, God. Anyway, the point is... Conan got fucked over because now, in retrospect, I think at least everybody in our generation says that Conan O'Brien was the greatest talk show host that ever lived, yet he never really got to have his own show except for the one he had at 12:30 that made him lucrative, at least in our eyes, but apparently not to executives. Let me ask you this. What was Conan's downfall, in your opinion, if you had to break it down?
Well, I'd hate to say it's a downfall to take over Leno's show, because that's the NBC show, that time slot. 11:30 was the was the creme de la creme. That was, the Late Show. That's what Letterman wanted. That's, Carson hosted it for decades, and they didn't give it to him. They went with Letterman, and then he moves over to CBS. So I don't necessarily know its downfall, and I don't know if he or people around him had the knowledge, just the ability to see it coming that Leno was going to get restless and want something back. Okay, because remember they gave him what, like an hour after that? It was like that little kind of.
So what happened was, like, Leno had like a 5-year contract, and Conan was basically like, well, listen, like, Leno's contract's coming up. I'd like to do the Tonight Show, or I'm going to shop my options. He was so good at 12:30 that NBC didn't want to lose Conan, and so they were like, hey, Jay, listen, let's make this your last contract. I don't know how old he was at the time. By then, you'll be like 70. Yeah. I think it's time for new blood. Conan, has expressed explicit interest in the Tonight Show. His contract's coming up at the same time as yours. So let's just make that transition. Jay says he didn't want to go, but he wasn't opposed to going either. Like, he was kind of like, I'd like to do this longer, but if this is if this is what you're handing me, then I guess I'll accept. And then Conan's ratings weren't gangbusters, like, right out the gate on the Tonight Show. And so they were like, hey, Jay, you want to come on at 10 o'clock? And so then Conan's like, well, yeah, of course. They've already gotten their late night programming. And then it was like, I think Jay came on at 10:30. He did a half-hour show. And then, came on at...
Yeah, 10:30 it did a 1-hour show.
Well, no, because this was Conan's bitch. He said Jay came on, and then your local news came on, and you had this half hour of boring fucking shit, but you were already getting late night entertainment right before the news. And so by the time the news was over, nobody gave Conan a chance to, like, because you got to remember, like, Conan's comedy, if you're not used to it, it takes a while to marinate in your brain. Like, the way it's different. It's like it was always like a hybrid of, like, Leno and Letterman, in my opinion. It had, like, at least the perceived professionalism of Jay Leno with the absurd nonsense of David Letterman.
Right. Yeah, and I understand. I mean, are you agreeing with me with that? That was ultimately the downfall. Because I mean, what just taking the Late Show time slot. Because, I mean, what's the alternative? You give it to someone else, they failed, and you slide in like the knight in shining armor?
No, I think not having Jay go away completely was the downfall.
100%. Then that's out of Conan's hands, though. That's not his downfall. Well, I guess it is. None of his own doing, though.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly my point. Is that, like, Jay just didn't go away, and so Conan was still competing with Jay. And he's still mad about that. But then he got the TBS show, and people loved that. But then the internet came along, so I watched more Conan from TBS on, like, YouTube clips. Yeah. And that was fine. But man, he's just such a fucking talent. He's a generational talent who I just feel he didn't get to completely spread his wings on what he was capable of.
Yeah, I feel like he was due a decade-ish at that primetime slot, Late Show, Channel 11 for you old heads. But NBC, or was it not? Yeah, NBC. Yeah, he was due. Now, whether or not he wanted to extend that and make an elongated run, no one can predict that. But he was due his due diligence. He paved the way after Leno. He earned his stripes. He was due that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look. I mean, Jimmy Fallon. God, how long's he had it now? It's got to be at least a decade.
Him and Myers. I know Seth Meyers hasn't been on as long, but he's been doing it for a while. No, Fallon.
I say Jimmy Fallon's probably about it's got to be more than 9 years.
12 years.
12 fucking years. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, and I love Jimmy Fallon. I think Jimmy Fallon's I like Jimmy Fallon. I just still don't think he still feels like he hasn't found his footing somehow 12 years later. It's almost like
Seth Meyers 12 years.
It's almost like my same bitch about Drew Carey hosting The Price is Right. Like, it still feels like Drew Carey's like trying to figure it out, and it's like that motherfucker's been doing it now for like 20 years.
I was gonna say 20. I bet you he's more around the 25-year mark. I don't know how long has Drew Carey been on The Price is Right. 18. Well, you're right. That just seems like a long time.
Jesus,
3,300 episodes.
18 fucking years. That's fucking wild, dude. We're getting old, man. We're getting old.
Where did this last decade go?
and time is just, I don't know, it's just a cruel, fickle beast, man. Fuck.
You know, I feel it's almost like the internet has made, I won't, dare I say, formative years for us. Us inching in and then dipping our toe into the middle-age pool go so much faster. Because, like, you know, I don't know. I just felt like 25 to 35 was life-changing. And 35 to now, like, getting, as I'm like a year and a half from being 45, it's been like, you know, some things have changed, you know. The car TVs are bigger.
The car TVs. Yeah, no, I'm trying to feel like, yeah, Lightspeed picked up around 35. And like, I feel like yeah, man, I feel like it's only been like 2 years since I was 35, but I'm going to be 47 in June. It's just, I'm pushing 50, dude. It's fucking weird.
We're going to have to go to the middle holes or something like that.
Well, and this is what's funny. And I just,
middle-aged class holes. I don't know.
I'm so grateful I get to reveal this to you, is that you are Wesley Fox. You are in middle age. I
understand that. Yes.
I know, but you were like creeping into middle age. No. You are in middle age, because I remember having that same thought, and somebody at work going to me like, "How long you plan on living, man?" Just like, fuck.
In correction, Seth Meyers does the Late Show, or formerly the Late Show, Late Night with Seth Meyers, which comes on after Colbert, and Colbert's been doing it this is his 11th season. So yeah, 11 years.
Yeah, and Colbert's coming to an end. Here's where
he's exiting stage left?
Yes. Dude, late night show numbers are fucking done. And look, I'm not making a political statement with this. He has gone so hard with his left-leaning politics that, like, I think Stephen Colbert is a comedic generational talent. However, I don't like I don't like that. I don't like that from my late night show. And that's why I wish Conan was the one that got because I don't think Conan would have done that. I don't think Conan would have taken it. Like, here's your options. You got Colbert, you got Jimmy Kimmel, and you got Jimmy Fallon. And I like Jimmy Fallon I like Jimmy Fallon as a person, as a funny person, but I feel like he's in this quagmire of, like, everybody else is doing that political stuff, I guess I have to too, or not, or I don't know. He seems confused about what he's doing with the Tonight Show.
Do you know what Carson said about, like, politics on his show?
Oh yeah, no, he would take a break, and if they wanted to do anything political, he would have a guest host come in to have those kinds of conversations.
He said, "There's no point in me as a entertainer and a businessman segregating half my audience.
Exactly.
It's senseless." And that was in the 70s.
Yeah, and let's be honest. I know Trump is a polarizing, but Trump's a polarizing guy, 100%. I agree with that. Even no matter what I think about politics in America, Trump is a polarizing person. But to harp on him the way they do, in the most mean-spirited way in which they do, you're automatically going to kill about 50% of your audience, maybe 40. Maybe I'm overblowing it a little bit.
Yeah, but does that? I mean, like, the Daily Show is not unsuccessful. And that's Jon Stewart with his thumbprint on it.
Yes, but here's the thing, though. With the Daily Show, it's inherently a mock news show.
Yes,
it's supposed to be like, I don't know, like a version of, like, The Five on Fox News or something like that, but done with a liberal host. But I like Jon Stewart. When I watch Jon Stewart, whether I agree or disagree with him, I think he does it in a tactful, tasteful way. I think it's funny. I think it's insightful. Again, whether I agree or disagree with the insight, I think it's done fucking so well. It's not offensive. It just is what it is. And it's a perspective that either I share or I don't. And I'll find more common ground with Jon Stewart when I watch his show than I will with these other guys, because I just don't think they're as politically minded as somebody like Jon Stewart is. And it's on Comedy Central, and you have to seek it out. And now it's Jon Stewart one day a week. And I look forward to hearing from him. And again, like I said with Bill Maher, same thing. Bill Maher's a pompous dude.
Yeah.
But I like his perspective sometimes, especially like when it's rare now to disagree with the people you agree with. And that's what he does now more than anybody. And that's respectable.
He's kind of got that, I won't say Howard-esque thing. I'm talking about the Howard Stern movie, Private Parts, when they were like, most listeners, people listen to him for an hour. Like, how do they listen to him for that long? Answer most commonly given, I want to see what he's going to say next. And then it was people who hate him listen for an hour and 45 minutes. Why do they listen longer? Most common answer, I want to see what he's going to say next. That's kind of what I get from Bill Maher. Because you're right, he is pompous, he is arrogant, and he doesn't really make any bones about being pompous and arrogant. And
no, he doesn't.
I kind of like that.
No, I do. Same thing. And it's authenticity is what we've got, and that's again, maybe that's why. Again, love Jon Stewart. Don't agree with his politics all the time, but like, like when he went to Congress for the veterans, everybody that suffered from 9/11 and things like that. Like, how do you not, like, the guy's heart's in the right place? Whether I always agree with him or never agree with him, he's a genuine dude. I like that. I like the I saw this like a month ago where Stewart's name wound up in the Epstein files. Did you see this? No, I don't know if I saw this, but I'm sure this was hilarious.
Basically, Epstein was talking to someone about getting entertainment at the island, and they brought up, well, how about a stand-up comedian? He was like, it was through an email. I was like, yeah, maybe someone like a Jon Stewart type. And he was like, I'm offended.
Jon Stewart type. Wasn't
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
Oh, and I've already summoned his name once. 3 times he appears. No, like this was great. Rogan came up in the Epstein files a bunch of times, and it's because
wait, a bunch or 3? Would you?
I don't know. 3's a bunch, right?
Not really, but okay.
Point is, Rogan came up in the Epstein files because Epstein wanted to go on the Joe Rogan Experience.
Okay.
And it was like all the emails were like Joe being like, not interested. No. Basically like, fuck you.
Sorry. It's not for you.
but that's the problem with these Epstein files too, is that like they're coming up in search queries, right? Like if you hit Control F and you type in something, it's like, bro, they're in the files. It's like, well, are they in there for the right reasons? Or are they in there for the wrong reasons?
Yeah. And like I debated this with some coworkers about, I don't know. I want to say it was about a year ago. Dude, this
has been going on for, like we said, light speed right now.
I was going to say, it boggles my mind then. But, I'd say if you were a wealthy celebrity and you got invited to the island for a day or a weekend and either chartered your own private plane, had your own private plane, or were given, a private, not given, but a private plane picked you up and took you there, and you partied and you did nothing nefarious or anything like that, and then left, and somehow you showed up on some guest list and you're blackballed as some asshole. You'd be like, man, I went there and drank martinis for a weekend. I wasn't involved in that garbage. Now, of course, it probably behooves that celebrity or famous person or politician or athlete to clear their name publicly if you give a shit. But I remember saying that to some coworkers, like showing up in there doesn't mean you were involved with all the bullshit.
Yeah.
Not bullshit. All the fucking dastardly things that were taking place.
Yeah. AKA bullshit. Yes. And yes, using that in a colloquial way. Yes. I understand. Now, because you're right, because no, like I don't know that this guy's a fucking pedophile sex offender, right? You're on an island?
Yeah. Hey, there's
Sure
going to be a
do.
bunch of other celebrities and hot chicks and booze and drugs. Huh?
Huh? Tell me more. And
And a Jon Stewart like comedian. Whatever.
I'll even get you a private plane. Okay, say less. Like, yes, I'm going. And then yes, and I think that's the problem with this conspiracy too. Like, it's not a conspiracy, but it is. It's weird. This is one of those ones where it's both a conspiracy and not a conspiracy. Because, like you said, if you're in there, are you in there for the wrong reasons? But no one in 24-hour news cycles is going to give you the benefit of the doubt. Your name shows up, you're guilty. And I think that's why we're not getting more of this. I think there's some people that probably were at some parties where something happened, they weren't involved. You're like, you're going to fucking ruin my billion-dollar corporation if you even say I was there at this time, even though I didn't do anything.
Something took place in a master suite in a 100,000-foot complex, and I was 90,000 square feet away from that, not knowing it was going on. I blacked out, went to my own room, and barfed in my bathtub and went to sleep.
I still don't know how they haven't fucking grabbed Bill Gates and fucking dragged him in for fucking questioning. Like, his whole thing, asking about, like, because apparently he was banging, like, Russian hookers and possibly, allegedly, got an STD and was, like, trying to figure out if he could, like, dose his wife so she didn't get fucking whatever he had going.
Preemptively.
Yeah.
Hey, babe, this is a pre-STD cocktail. Take it. It's 47 pills.
Yeah, but that's why they got fucking divorced. I mean, so that guy's obviously guilty of something. Were they underage? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe he knows, maybe he doesn't know. But man, yeah, there's a lot to that. How the fuck did we get to that from fucking cigarettes in the UK?
I don't know. Middle classos, everyone. Murr and Foxman. Hey, I wanted to tell you, listen. All right. The old Veloster took the, I'm going to say the blunt end, took the worst of a fender bender. All right. I was at a red light, was trying to inch out. It was an exit off of a highway. The turn lane was blocked partially by a semi. I inched out. I thought, all right, I can make it out of here. And I was like, I hit the accelerator a little bit, and I was like, no, you're going to have to floor it to make this. You're a middle-aged man. make the wise decision. So I hit the brake, and the person behind me thought I was going, and boom, ran into me. So we pull over, we exchange information. It was a younger woman. She was all freaked out. I was like, I could be the dick and call the cops, but I was like, look, they're just going to have us exchange insurance information. You have insurance, right? Yeah, right here. Right here. I was like, all right, let me take a photo of it. Here's mine. Let's get license plates. Can I take a picture of the registration? Yeah. And it was what it was. I immediately filed a claim, ordered a day to drop it off to get repaired. And the rental car agency picks me up and drives me a mile down the road. And he's like, yeah, you ordered a full-size sedan, right? And I was like, that's what I picked. At this point, I don't give a fuck. Anything short of a smart car, I'll take what you got. And he was like, yeah, we got this Chrysler Pacifica. And I was like, dude, I don't really know what that is. And he points to it, and it's a white minivan. And I was like, give me the keys. And the guy walks me out. He's like, listen, man, don't hate on this. It rides smooth. I'm going to tell you, it's a good piece of machinery. Dude. If my lifestyle ever changes, if Wes Fox's life ever behooves itself to consider a minivan of that caliber, I'm not going to think twice.
Let me tell you, the folks down at every fucking design department at every American automotive industry in the United States of America was like, listen, dudes don't like minivans. What can we do?
Yeah.
Like, all right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to put a Hemi in this motherfucker. We're not going to tell him it's a Hemi. We're just going to fucking let them test drive it, and they're going to find out. And because I had too. I've driven a Chrysler Pacifica. Christmas time at work, we needed extra vehicles. We would rent one every now and again, and we got a Chrysler Pacifica. And it's got that little fucking dial where you dial it to fucking drive. And then you fucking hit that gas pedal, and it's like, okie dokie then. All right. I'm not dating. I'm all of a sudden, everything behind your earlobes is gone. You don't give a shit what the looks are behind you, because what's in front of you is fucking like Star Wars fucking warp speed. It's amazing.
It is. It is like a Millennium Falcon. Chewie's in the fucking passenger seat, like, row.
You know what? You're blowing my mind because I think that the Millennium Falcon, as far as like ships in the Star Wars universe, I think it's the minivan. It's a smuggler vehicle, right? Doesn't even Han like say like don't let the looks like confuse you, kind of? Doesn't he get a line like that?
Yeah, that's when Luke and Han first meet up with him. They're like, this is the fastest ship in the galaxy. You know, that smug Luke voice, and don't let the looks fool you, kid.
Yeah, and then they fucking punch it, and it's like, ooh, this thing rides pretty nice for what it looks like.
A lot of cargo. Nice.
Yeah, yes. You get to fit a family of 7 back there. What are you talking about?
That spaceship door comes down automatically?
Open the whole side up, man. With the touch of a button.
Yeah, and I it's not that I ever... I think I may have joked around about, like, you know, soccer moms and dads with the minivans and things like that. But when I see them out on the road, I don't have this, you know, notion to yell at them or like, hey, look at this dork. I don't. I lost that long ago. Probably me getting into middle age. But now I'm appreciating them. If I see a Chrysler Pacifica on the road, I'm like, look at that fucking, that piece of machinery right there. Why are you driving so slow? Hitting bumps. The suspension's wildly underrated. There's a couple things now. The Veloster has low profile tires, and there's a couple bumps getting into the city that it's like, hold on to your nuts, because this thing's gonna like, and this was like,
yeah.
It's like nothing.
Oh yeah, because you're driving around and that motherfucker, and you got a little kid in the back seat in the car seat. You don't want to.
Yeah, you can't have little Jimmy fucking springboarding 4 feet. No,
man, you gotta fucking hug them. Yeah, man. Yeah, don't hate on a minivan. Now, I don't want to drive a minivan if I don't have to. But,
right.
But if you have to, you might as well get performance and suspension and everything that comes with it. And the Chrysler Pacifica. This is an ad for the Chrysler Pacifica, by the way.
We're going to the algorithm's going to show up at Chrysler's HQ. It's going to be some low in the totem pole advertising guy. It's like, wait a minute. I think we found our niche here.
Well, this is, you know, Elon said recently that the best product in the world will need no advertisement. And I don't know if you know this, but Tesla's never spent money on any advertising.
Come to think of it, I don't think I've ever seen, not just television ad, Netflix, any YouTube or any social media short. I mean, I say YouTube because YouTube is now littered with them. I don't think you can watch a video without getting some ad, unless it's the Middle Class Alls or some other punk podcast. But, yeah, I don't think I've ever seen
no, but his whole thing is like the greatest. I'm sorry, let me go back on that. The greatest product in the world won't even have it. You won't even have your logo on it. It will not need a logo. He plans, basically what he's saying is he plans on releasing the Tesla robot with no markings on it at all whatsoever, because it won't need it. It'll be so goddamn good. And the Chrysler Pacifica, I've never seen a Chrysler Pacifica ad on TV ever.
Don't need it. I mean, we'll see. I'm not gonna like dip my toe into a ton.
By the way, it's reminding me of like National Lampoon's Vacation. Is like, I think you hate it now. Where do you drive it?
and I didn't say to the guy, give me the fucking keys, but the movie version was me looking at it for 2 seconds and give me the fucking keys.
Snatch him out of his hand.
I gotta go. I can't sit at the rental car agency for another half hour, man. Time's a ticking. Time's wasting. But the Veloster will be back in my hands tomorrow, and I'll have to give this back. Maybe he's going to.
I hit disappointment in your voice.
Well, I think he's gonna have to rip the keys out of my hand. Like, okay. It's yours. It's yours.
So good.
It's yours.
I love it so much.
It's so good, right? The sliding doors on both sides, man. I mean, yeah.
I've got a 4-inch wiper blade on the back of my car.
That's right. Fit so many bags of golf clubs back there. I was thinking about it. Yeah.
I fit everyone's golf clubs in there, and them. Oh,
yeah.
Because I do remember. By the way, what was it? Christmas time? Did we go out? Was it us? And we went down to the local brewery, and I remember sitting Indian style in the back seat here. That's
not even a seat. It's just a piece of plastic that with cup holders.
You did put down, well, because you were transporting the dog, so there was like.
Oh, we gave you the dog bed to sit on.
There was carpeting back there.
Yeah.
Like a thrown away piece of carpeting from
Yeah.
somebody who had just recently installed some in their house.
I remember asking my mom, was like, "Oh, you guys went down to the brewery last night?" I was like, "Yeah." Christ, who drove? I was like, "Yeah, Murr, totally Murr, definitely Murr." Listeners, it was me.
His car drove us down there.
That's right. Yeah. All right. Hey, we're bringing back a segment that we have done in I want to say over a year, maybe more, folks. If you haven't, if you're a listener of the last year and a half ish, we used to do this way back. I don't want to say we're bringing it back, but we're bringing it back tonight. And if it goes well, we might bring it back once a month. Anyway, one and done. Murr, tell them what it is.
All right, tonight's one and done is a very simple question. Now, we love animal questions here on the Middle Class Holes. We also like fighting questions. We like cerebral questions when we can get to them. And so I was having a discussion with Grok in my car the other day, and I was like, I want to do a one and done. I'm noodling around with this question. Let's just say you're a gorilla. God damn it. Let me look up the exact question that I asked Grok, because I don't want to fuck this up. But basically, fuck that. I can do it off the top of my head.
Yeah.
All right. So one and done. Here's your question. Your consciousness is transported into the body of a gorilla. So, would you rather have your consciousness transported into the body of the biggest, most badass silverback gorilla? Now, you're aware of who you are, but now all of your functions, your mental facilities, everything that you are is dumbed down to gorilla standards, but you are the biggest, baddest silverback gorilla.
You kind of got bedazzled to the basketball player. Brendan Fraser and Bedazzle.
No, I've never heard Bedazzle as an entertainment piece of any kind.
It's a movie with Liz Hurley. Anyway, go on.
So you're either the biggest, baddest silverback gorilla that's ever lived. You're aware that you are in a species that exists, but you don't have any of your human functionality anymore. Or you get transported into the most bitch-ass baby gorilla, just tiny little motherfucker that's going to get fucking punked around. But you have all of your human facilities mentally. You're capable of high function reason, everything that you are right now, but you're now in the body of a very pussified gorilla. Are you taking, I'm aware that I'm a gorilla, but I'm a gorilla as the biggest silverback? Or are you going to go, I'm a bitch pussy silverback, but I have all of my human functionality?
Oof. I thought about this. This is a tough one. There's a lot of pros and cons to this. I think if you accept the smart little gorilla, you're really going to have to play the long game. You're going to have to play years of trust. You're going to have to, you're playing chess while they're playing with their dicks.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, they're not even playing checkers, folks. You're going to have to, because to show off your smarts in that. And again, I'm pretending to know what goes on in a gaggle of gorillas. But at least the way I'm thinking of it right now is that it's going to take years. But if you win their trust and they understand that what you're doing is best for the pack, it'll win a trust to where that they're always going to go to you for answers. They're going to go for you what do we do? You're the fucking smart one. My fear about this is that the big gorilla is always just going to beat the fuck out of you.
Yeah.
You're always going to have that. He's just going to get pissed off, and he's always got that joker, that wild card in his back pocket. If they wore pants. They don't. But, you know what I mean. That's my thought. I haven't made a decision. Tell me your rationale. Maybe we can come to a conclusion here.
Okay. Now, the easy game, the easy answer is just to say, fuck it. All of a sudden I go, ooh.
And the women are flocking. The women are like,
you got
me.
You can bang any. You've got the run of the roost. It's your landscape. They're just fucking living in it. So there's like this. I don't know. It's like the king shit. You know, like
Right.
You are king shit. It's all yours. This kingdom is yours. You get to dominate. You don't have to think about anything. You could beat anybody up. Now, you're going to have a very limited lifespan because by the time you hit like 30, every other younger gorilla is going to try to beat your ass to take your spot. But for that period of time, you're living on top. But
Right.
if you're the baby, the little bitch gorilla, but you're you, here's my thought. I know the gorillas are endangered. That means there's going to be researchers coming around. And I'm going to go find one of them. This Jane Goodall looking bitch, right? That's just kind of like, ooh, love me some gorillas. And I'm going to go start fucking flirting with her. And I'm going to convince her that I am who I am. And then I'm going to get brought back for research purposes. And I'm going to escape that fucking life. And I'm going to somehow then parlay this into Jimmy Fallon. I'm going to convince Elon to give me a Neuralink so that I can communicate. My game is get the fuck out of here because I agree with everything you said. I just fear that the longer I stay in that jungle and the more smarts that I show that maybe upstage the real silverback, the more likely my arms are to be removed from my body.
Sure. See, I got to hand it to you. That is not where I thought you were going with this at all. And you could have given me 100 cracks at this, and I wouldn't have even gotten close. I thought, and the way I was thinking about this was, the long game is you play the background leader. You end up getting, the not necessarily the biggest silverback on your side, but you get fucking protection. You end up, you gather resources. You become a Bill Gates of this kingdom, and then you basically convince or, mind warp other bigger gorillas to be like, be my protection. I'll give you this. I'll give you food. I'll get you laid. But I need to run the roost.
I think that all factors in. Don't count yourself out here. Like, I do think that all factors in because how long is it going to take for researchers to find you? I think you kind of, but also I know nothing about like gorilla
society. Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't even like if I thought like, okay, here's a good idea. Like, oh, I accidentally looked him right in the eyeballs. Now I lose a leg.
Hey, I got this great idea.
Yeah. Like from a society standpoint, like I just perform the wrong actions and I get my ass kicked. I do agree with you that that's the plan, but I'm not dealing with humans. I'm not dealing like this is Survivor, but I'm dealing with Survivor. I don't know the language. I don't know like the culture. I know none of that. I mean, maybe I'll learn it over time. Maybe I just keep my head down, fucking like gnaw some fucking leaves for a little while and just, what are they eating? I might even eat the wrong fucking thing. All of a sudden, I go out, but man, I go out and I just think about this though. Even if you're a little bitch ass gorilla, think about it. You can find a deer and just snap its fucking neck with your bare hands.
Right. Make a bow.
Right? Yeah. Like you show them the fucking Bronze Age, like within the first 2 weeks. You know what to do. It's just you don't know how to do it. But let's pull on my thread here for a minute. Okay. So, I mean, think of these granola chicks, right?
Mm-hmm. It's funny. I'm looking at this gorilla with the tuxedo on behind you. Yeah, that guy.
Look, that's okay. There you go. That's me. That's what I aspire to be. Right? That is my goal. Do you know how much money's on the table if I can get that guy into that suit?
Yeah.
That's my ultimate goal, is to figure out how to make it onto the late night circuit.
Rolling out, walking on a red carpet.
Talk to Red Bull. Be like, hey guys, listen. You know those stunts you guys like to do? I know what to... Movie star, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, I can finally go to a director and be like, listen, you don't need to do CGI. You don't need to hire some guy who's been probably having some inappropriate contact with his animals in a shed out back. I got this. Just tell me how to act. I look like a gorilla. I'll do it for you. What do you need? You know, all these contracts.
I'll play third base with Matt LeBlanc as the co-star.
100%. Supplements, gyms, all the things. Being on TV, like Harry and the Hendersons with a real vote. But see, this is the problem. This is one thing I asked Grok because I was trying to make my decision here. Apparently, gorillas cannot make the same vocal sounds that we make. So they was like, you could learn American Sign Language. I was like, no, you're wrong. This is me. I can't learn that. Get in. This is why I was thinking, like, get in with like Elon and be like, hey, can you get me like an Iron Man, like, I don't know, chest box that like speaks for me, but I put a Neuralink in my head.
Yeah.
That way I can just communicate like normally. And then, dude, the sky's the limit. I could make more money as a pussified gorilla with a human brain than I could ever with a human with my body.
Yeah. I'm wondering, did you get a soch? Did they tax you?
Oh, yeah, I'm getting taxed out the ass. Dami's coming after me, baby.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I'm all for it.
Yeah, it's fine.
I'm all for it. Bring it on. Take 50%, because 50% of the kind of money I'm talking is fucking peanuts.
The kind I'm used to.
Yeah. But I have to start in the wilderness somewhere, and I figure 1 or 2 years I'm going to have to survive.
Yeah.
Naked, cold, scared, praying, scheming. I mean, and I mean, let's be honest. Until I get to movie star status, probably gonna have to bang some. Like, look, the people who love gorillas, they secretly want to have sex with them. Am I wrong?
I don't know. We'll just say, for the sake of the podcast and conversation, you betcha. They like fucking.
You're telling me that if Jane Goodall, God bless her soul, wonderful lady, if there was a chimpanzee, hey, listen, I got a little ailment. You might be able to cure it.
Right. Yes.
You're telling me there's not a tent somewhere that might be a rockin' real quick.
Right. Yeah. Man, I was my mind's going about this celebrity status thing, man. You could do like a remake of your life.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, that's a whole movie right there. I'm writing a movie. This is a movie we'll never make right now.
Right. Yeah.
You wait. Instead of like Freaky Friday, it's Freaky Nigeria. I don't know. Freaky Congo.
Freaky Congo. Yeah. They just, yeah. Hollywood, come a call. And the Middle Class Holes has a real humdinger for you. 40% on the Rotten Tomatoes. Tops
Easily. But either way, no. So I would take the bitch ass gorilla. I would find a way to make my way back to civilization, convince them that I'm a human in a gorilla body, and then reap all the fucking rewards. Social media, TikTok, Instagram, everything. I'd model for you. I'd obviously have some beautiful suits, swimwear, everything, the whole gamut.
Right. Then what do they do for mates? I mean, obviously, well, I guess, you
have anybody I want, human
women
or not.
who love gorillas. Yeah, people who love gorillas have sex with them. We've established that. Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean,
I didn't know if they had to like let you loose in the zoo for an hour or something.
Have you seen Culture recently? I'll be fine. There'd be somebody for me.
No, but I did watch Linda Lovelace have sex with a dog in the 70s.
Linda Lovelace?
Deep Throat Linda Lovelace, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's on 8mm in my parents' attic if you want to find a reel-to-reel if you can.
Say no more.
I looked it up on eBay. Those things are worth like $80.
80 human dollars? All right.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So I'm going with bitch ass gorilla. I got a plan in place. What do you got?
Yeah, I'll go bitch ass gorilla. I think don't get me wrong, there's something enticing about that peak that you mentioned, just rolling in there and being the king of the kingdom for a hot minute. But yeah, the long game with the little bitch ass gorilla makes sense. Yeah, especially now, because now this is a new age argument. You know what I mean? You talk about this 10, 15 years ago, you might have to answer it differently. But you immediately were like, I'm going to Elon. I'm asking about a Neuralink.
Yeah. No, you're right. If you went back to like the 80s or 70s or anywhere in our lifespan that's not now, I think the best choice would be to be the baddest son of a bitch in the jungle. But
Right.
now there's options. There's plenty of options. And those options, not only are they like, they're not fleeting either. They're like ripe for the pickings if you can do it the right way, but you got to get there. I think that's the problem. That's the only caveat, though. This has to work. This plan has to work. But as a human, as an American, isn't that the thing? Like, I can be anything I want to be if I work hard enough. And I'd work my ass off, because otherwise...
Or if I'm a gorilla.
I'm a gorilla American, thank you.
That's our one and done.
And that is your one and done.
Beautiful. Listen, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with Fun Fact Friday. And before you go, which takes place in Washington, D.C., the nation's capital, which they're doing away with late night something or other and had new drawings. Lovely.
Intelligence, of which you have none.
Obviously, we're dealing with the superior intelligence.
And now, Fun Fact Friday.
All right, folks, it's officially time to expand your mind. It is Fun Fact Friday. Brought to you, of course, by our very many sponsors. Make sure you check out The Cuckster. The Cuckster is on both Instagram and TikTok. That's Cuckster for Life. Cuckster for Life on both Instagram and TikTok. And, of course, our Flat Earth Science Advocates for Truth. Make sure you check them out on Facebook. That's a Facebook exclusive. I'd like to see those numbers pop up on Flat Earth Science Advocates for Truth, because I feel like Flat Earth is not dying. Doesn't that feel like something that should have gone away by now? But I don't know if it's
rears its ugly head from time to time. There's 13 members on Flat Earth Science Advocates for Truth, 8 of which are friends of mine.
I just think that's because Flat Earth is actually so pervasive that no one has time for our one, like, you know what I mean? I feel like there's so many Flat Earth websites out there or groups that nobody's, like...
The market's a bit saturated.
Yes, no one's, glomming on ours because of that. So, any which way, if you'd like to... Fuck Flat Earth Science. You know what? We're never, ever sponsoring them again, because they're not sponsoring us. We're sponsoring them. They're dead to me now. Let's get to it. 5 fun facts for you on a Friday. And tonight's Fun Fact Friday, its theme is drugs from the past.
Okay.
Drugs from the past. For example, did you know Bayer, yes, the aspirin company, invented and sold heroin as a cough medicine? In 1898, they proudly marketed heroin. No product name. They just called it heroin.
Street name, yeah.
As a safe, non-addictive alternative to morphine and a superstar cough suppressant for tuberculosis, pneumonia, and everything else that came with coughing or basically moving your body. Wow. It came in nice little bottles. It was even recommended for kids. Bayer later had to rethink their branding decision.
You know, I've long wondered when the last time America was great again. That might have been it.
1898.
Well, just, trying to figure out how to get people off of morphine. Let's give them heroin. And by the way, this will help out with that tuberculosis that you may or may not have.
Oh, yeah, topsy-turvy. Look how times have changed. Now we get people off of heroin with morphine.
That's right. It turns out. Yeah. No.
I mean, I have a feeling if your body is so sedated from heroin, you don't have energy to cough.
Yeah. Have you ever gotten a tuberculosis test?
No, I don't.
Yeah. Okay. So I had to when I worked at the Catholic high school that I taught at, and it was like 2006, and it was one of those weird things. Like I had to go to a facility, and it's real quick. I'm trying to remember. They have like dead cells, and they put it in in a part of your arm, and if your arm reacts a certain way, you either have it or you were exposed to it. And for some reason or another, this high school, what you deem that like that's what you have to be tested for in order to teach here. And if you were exposed to it, then you have to have other medical procedures to convince us that you're good to teach here. And I was so fucking paranoid about like, what do I have it? Do I have it? I remember asking my mom like, hey, so I got to get this tuberculosis test. Yeah. I don't know. Like, I mean, could have I stumbled across that at some point? She's like, no, you fucking idiot. No, you would know. You'd be coughing your fucking lungs out all day, every day.
That's what I'm thinking. That just sounds like some weird like deal they made with some lab.
With the Catholic Church, probably.
That's an odd thing. Like I would think that there was 100 other ailments that you would get tested for.
Oh yeah, no, you don't worry about schizophrenia or anything like that. No, TB. That's high on our list.
Good God. I wonder if all the kids were smoking pot and coughing all the time.
So this was 2006. So yeah, like the late 90s, they were like, oh man, we got a tuberculosis outbreak here. We got to start testing.
A chronic outbreak, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Oh. Dun, 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 dun.
Bink, boom, bink, bink, boom, bink. Did you know Victorian ladies and babies were absolutely hooked on laudanum? This opium tincture mixed with alcohol was the go-to aspirin of the 19th century. Sold over the counter for everything from menstrual cramps to headaches to insomnia and, quote, women's troubles. It was so common that nurses spooned it to fussy infants to quiet them. And famous writers like Samuel Tyler Coleridge and Elizabeth Barrett Browning used it liberally.
Did this drug cease to exist after a certain point, or does it just not produce anymore?
I mean, it's opium. I mean, it's...
Well, my point is they lost a generation of rappers. It'd be like, laudanum.
No. Yo, what's the laudanum?
Yeah, give me some of that laudanum, girl.
Yeah, dude.
Spoon feeding it too. What a time.
Yeah, man. Well, I mean, they didn't know. And
yeah.
God,
your baby's calicky. Here, come on.
This shit
works. Here it comes. Yeah, they're fucking
what's-
comatose.
What's it doing? Shutting them up. That's what it's doing.
That was an official medical term too. This is called shut up juice.
Dude, no regulations, no FDA, no fucking CDC, no nothing. Just fucking some guy who found a fucking molecule that works. That's what happened.
Old Dr. Willenkamp, who was the barkeep and town doctor.
But it's weird because, like, besides, like, the opium wars where, like, the Brits legit got the Chinese addicted to opium, like, you don't hear about a lot of, like, addiction from back in the day from stuff like this.
I just don't think it was that well documented. I'm certain. Listen, there's people in the 19th century weren't, didn't have some sort of force field on addiction.
No, I know they didn't, but, like, sometimes I wonder if, like, ignorance, like, plays a part in stuff like this. Like, because they're only using it when they, quote, need it, right? Like, maybe, like, they don't realize, like, yes, this makes me feel great right now, but I only need to feel great right now because I feel so shitty before I take it.
Yeah, but I think if you went down the rabbit hole of opioid addiction in the 19th century, I think you'd be a little more shocked at people weren't just using it medicinally.
I mean, I'd be shocked, but like, I'd like to see a documentary on this kind of stuff. Yeah, that would be fascinating because, like,
give it a grok convo tomorrow.
You don't, because you don't hear about it. You just, we're all like, oh wow, they were using straight heroin and opium like for medicine, and it makes sense, but you don't hear about them like then again like the I don't know. I guess well then again I guess Bear is still around in a multi-billion-dollar corporation, so they did something right.
They
were
greased a
selling
few
products.
pockets.
Yeah. Did you know cocaine was a wonder drug prescribed by doctors for fatigue, and even sung by Dr. Sigmund Freud? In the 1880s, German soldiers got cocaine to march longer with less tiredness, and Freud wrote a glowing paper called Ubercoca, praising it as almost magical. Dentists and surgeons used it as a local anesthetic, and it popped up in tonics and patients' medicines everywhere. For a hot minute, it was basically the Victorian version of an energy drink on steroids.
All that checks out. Local anesthetic, numb the gums, soldiers marching longer. Yeah, I mean, weird. Now, the 21st century version is just a bunch of dudes making promises to one another about things they're not going to do.
Yeah. At a bar somewhere.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's right.
Just trying to get home. And now we got Uber. So it's like, well, here's the thing. They don't trust us anymore. Like, and I mean they by just.
Yeah, the global they. Yeah, we understand.
The global they. Like, I feel like there's certain things that I need to get done in my life, and I don't want to do cocaine all the time. But there might be like a week in my life where I'm like, I need a performance enhancement, and I know what it is.
Right?
Could I get some that's clean and pure? Like, they were doing this not recreationally. Like, this was like. I mean, honestly, they were like, all right, German soldiers, we got to march a long time, a long way.
Listen, hold on. Let me pump that. War in the World War II and you being more productive on a weekend aren't the same thing. But listen, I don't disagree with you. I 100% agree that if there's some time, once or twice a year, where you're like, you know what, just a little something would be either enjoyable or would help me out doing something, because they want to, they'll well, not that they don't want to, you have to go through all this hoops to get Adderall.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And I mean, Adderall is basically meth. It's just like morphine is basically heroin. It's just the Sackler family's just making it, and it's like, well, if you want to get it, you got to go through 15 insurance companies that we own, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not fair.
And being productive on a weekend doesn't check the boxes there.
Listen, I'm not saying be productive on a weekend. I'm saying be productive in a weekday. Like, oh, shit.
Yes, yeah.
I forgot to do something, or I've got a huge deadline coming up. I could really use an enhancement right now, and you're not allowed to have it.
Yeah. This is a good, I'll give you a good, the third time I was taking my PMP exam. Now, that may not mean anything to you, but for those who are familiar with taking the project management professional exam, if you fail it a third time, you got to start all the way back at go. You got to do the boot camp again, which is like $2,500. Then you got to take the test again, which is like $500. So this is my last hurrah. And the first two times I failed it miserably. I studied my ass off. I finally figured out what, like, I removed my human brain and realized I got to be a robot. I started understanding like the questions, how they worded them, what to cue in on. It was like performing really well on practice exams. I was like, okay, I'm ready. But it's a 4-hour exam, and just to be certain, I might need a little bit of help. So I solicited a friend of mine who had a prescription to Adderall, popped one, took the 4-hour test. I finished it in like 3 hours and 15 minutes. And my elbows were raw from rubbing them into the side pads of my computer desk.
No, because I was diagnosed with like AD. Well, at the time it was just ADD.
ADD, yeah.
I don't know if I'm hyper with my.
And then they used to give you Ritalin, which is still prescribed, but that was like the umbrella drug at that time.
And I didn't want to take it, so I never did, and I still don't. And I still don't have anything for my ADD. And I often wonder, like, what things I could have accomplished had I medicated myself. And so every now and again, I'm like, well, what if I just had something on demand? There is nothing on demand.
No,
Adderall,
no. It's dealing drugs. It's buying drugs.
Adderall, like, once you start it, like, you kind of have to stay on it. And I don't want that in my life. So, like, I have a lot of creative ideas, and I don't really follow through on them because of the disorder. And I'm like, well, if I could... But I also wonder, like, would I have the creative ideas if I was treating the disorder? So yeah. I'd like to be Mr. Daydream guy all the time, like I am, and then when I'm like, all right, that's a good idea, I want to knuckle down on that idea, but I can't. But I only want to do it for this week.
Right.
Can I get something for this week and this week alone? I've already penciled it out. I got a 3-day weekend. I want to fucking rock this fucker down. I need something. Oh, I'm sorry. We don't have that for you.
That's right.
But actually, some little Cubano guy does have that for me.
Yeah,
but I don't trust him, so I'm not going to do it. So that's the predicament. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, man. I'd join a fucking go back in time and join the Germans in World War II.
There you go.
That's your other option.
Well, I just have to take some Adderall and invent me a time machine. Did you know Miss Winslow's soothing syrup was a morphine-laced baby calmer that flew off the shelves? In the late 1800s and early 1900s, this popular patient-friendly medicine was marketed specifically for teething infants and fussy kids, promising to soothe them to sleep. The secret sauce? A hefty dose of morphine, plus alcohol. It sold millions of bottles annually and was so effective at quieting babies that it earned the grim nickname, the Baby Killer. Yet it stayed on the market for decades until regulations caught up. Victorian parents basically had access to over-the-counter opioid pacifiers.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a good alternative. Yeah, opioid pacifiers. Jesus Christ. Half of these have to do with fucking just
shutting the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up drugs. Yeah. Wah! Okay. Look. Boop, boop, boop. Yeah. Off the dream world you go.
Well, and people wonder why. Like, this is what happens when historians divorce themselves from drugs, because nobody likes to mention all of the other things that were involved. And why were people the way they were back then? Well, here's a very brief list I grabbed in 5 seconds from Grok about like what they were doing to children before they could even consent.
Every late night cry session. Okay, here comes the airplane. Whee! Open up. Pop, pop, pop. This is. It reminded me of. It's reminding me of It was like an Australian chiropractor. Okay, and this is like probably 10 to 15 years ago when I got into like just watching people get their backs cracked by professionals.
I feel like I know exactly who you're talking about, but continue.
Yeah, and someone brought in a colicky baby, and he basically put 2 fingers on the baby's back and pushed it, and it cracked. Baby cried, and then he got fucking blackballed from social media and the dare I say the profession of chiropractic.
Chiropractic.
Yeah, whatever the hell that is. But I was reading I was reading comments and people say, I don't think you understand what parents will do when they have a colicky baby, meaning they cry all the goddamn time. Yeah, they're trying to find anything. 2, we don't live in a world where you fucking not even microdose them. Full-blown adult dose them with what? Miss Winslow's wonder drug?
Yeah, Miss Winslow's soothing syrup.
Yeah, sorry. Didn't miss those last 2 key fucking vocabulary words there. Soothing syrup.
Yes. Dude, I remember when... Okay, so William... Now, we figured it out finally, but, like, there's two types of formulas. Now he was breastfeeding, and then she was pumping, and then in the meantime, like while she was at work, after a certain amount of time, he'd have to have formula. And there's a blue formula and an orange formula, and I think eventually I can't remember which one we had to switch to. But until then, like I would have to take his legs and like push him up towards his chest, and he would rip fucking farts, dude. Just, I mean, there's full of grown adults that don't
fart like that.
that don't excrete air out of their bodies like this. And I was working anyway. Bottom line is tired. My mom calls me. He's crying. I'm like, I don't know what I sounded like, and God bless her, but like
hysterical.
3 hours later, she's knocking at the front door because that's how far away we fucking like. God bless her. I seriously. And she's like, you need to go get some rest. I'll take care of him. I can only imagine living in a time where that's not a possibility.
Yeah.
And Mrs. Winslow's like, hello. She's like, this spoon?
I was thinking of like Carl Winslow's wife. Hello. Not so much European, but yeah, you get the picture. Yeah. I get the picture.
Yeah. No,
one tablespoon at a time,
and that's it. And oh my God, this is a miracle. And you don't know it. And you're living in the 18 and 1900s, and you don't know shit about shit. The only thing you know how to read is the Bible. Like, there's not a lot of literature lying around. There's not a lot of like Newsweek magazine on the latest fucking sciences.
Rub some Jack Daniels on his gums and shut the fuck up.
I mean, look, I come from a generation where my grandmother would fucking spray WD-40 on us if we had a fucking, like, bruise. Like, or she claimed it was great for her arthritis. Maybe it was. Maybe it wasn't. Smells great. That's all I know. And finally, did you know methamphetamine, or Pervitin, was the Nazi soldiers' candy that kept troops marching like machines? During World War II, German forces were issued millions of tablets of methamphetamine under the brand name Pervitin. It was handed out to tank crews, pilots, infantry. It was able to help crush their fatigue, sharpen their focus, and boost aggression during those long battles and blitzkriegs. Soldiers called it the tank chocolate, or pilot salt, and it helped fuel the early war machine until addiction problems became impossible to ignore. Other militaries dabbled too, but the Germans went all in. I also heard that they did put it in chocolates, and so if you had like German chocolate, you might be a little more apt to
I'm starting to wonder, like, okay, ultimately the Germans lost, but let's be honest, they held the fort down for, quite a while. They teamed up with Italy as the they were the Axis powers, right? Yeah, Axis versus Allies.
Yes.
But it was all Germany. They made the mistake by trying to fucking invade Russia. I had to think maybe a year and a half, or at least two years of that, can be credited to both Coke and, what was it, Wonder Chocolate?
Yes, the Wonder Chocolate. I actually recently watched like an animation of the front lines. Now, I don't know if it was a complete mistake to go after Russia the way they did, but at some point
they should have stopped. Yeah.
Yes. I think if they had done what they had done for like the first 3 years and then paused for 2, regrouped, chilled the fuck out, maybe put the chocolate away for a couple days, and then we're like, all right, time for round 2. Yeah, they might. They might.
Well, yeah, I mean, and I apologize because they did team up with Japan. That was a whole other thing. Japan bringing the U.S. into the war really was more than they could handle. But I mean, I agree with you because they had their sights set on Britain. They wanted that island. They wanted that isle.
Oh yeah,
they wanted it all. And they Christ, I mean, they bombed the living fuck out of it. And I think, yeah, maybe just like, okay, we have 90% of mainland Europe. We're good. Now, I guess that begs the other question was like trade. Were other countries going to do that? But if you have the cash cow, if you have the land and you can sustain,
You got the land. You're gonna
the
need
coastlines.
You're gonna need a year for the soil to like refresh itself. Another year to like reap the rewards, and then fuel the war machine again. I like. Bottom line is Hitler was on drugs too. So
Yeah,
you know, like
give me that chocolate more.
watch him if you haven't seen it, and if
Is
watch
it
him.
Parkinson's, right?
No. Mm-mm.
I thought
That's-
there's like things of him shaking.
Oh yeah, there are things of him shaking, but it's not from Parkinson's. It's from fucking testosterone, cocaine, and methamphetamine, and he's fucking getting fucking dosed with it. They were fucking injecting him with like, I think it was like there was a cocktail they were giving him of testosterone, cocaine, and meth. And it was like all liquid, and he would take it in his ass via injection. And if you watch him, like, there's a clip of him at like the Olympics, like where Jesse Owens, like
1936,
and he's just like he's at a Metallica concert, dude, and there's nothing going on.
Look at that motherfucker run! Jesus Christ!
Yeah, and so some people think like he didn't necessarily get out of there because he was embarrassed. I think they took him out of there because he was fucking tripping the fuck out.
That's right. There's a good. I worked with a guy at T. Rowe Price who was stationed in Seoul in 1988, and the way it worked was they were giving all the soldiers, everyone from the U.S. base there, free lottery to anything for the 1988 Olympics. And they said, hey, if you're trying to get the heavy duty events, just know you're probably not going to win. If you want to go to something for free, now you can pay for tickets on your own, that's fine. But if you want to go to something for free, maybe pick something that's either like, you know, in the swimming or some of the other events. He said, fuck that. No, like, I don't care that much. I'm putting my chips in for the 100-meter. And he won right at the finish line, like three rows back. No shit. He's like, I knew what to expect. I knew these motherfuckers were fast. And then it was a gust of wind. Holy shit. I was like, you mean Ben Johnson all hopped up on steroids? He was like, yeah, it was unbelievable. Unfucking real.
Yeah.
It's like a gazelle. Just fucking.
I went to Atlanta, 96, and yeah, dude. I mean, I was running track then. So it was kind of like being able to like visually compare yourself and just like,
yeah.
Your eyes were like literally doing what? Oh, okay. All right. Like,
that's right.
What did he run that in? 40 fucking, you know, like I'm running a 400 and, you know, 56 was my fastest time.
Mm-hmm.
And then to see these guys like in the preliminaries, they're not even
44, 40. Yeah.
They're not even going
cruising the last 50.
Oh my God. Yeah. It's just, it's something to behold. But that, my friends, is your Fun Fact Friday.
Well, tonight, before you go, we kick you out to the nation's capital, Washington, D.C. Sorry, pub trivia, new drawing might be the hippest new event in D.C. bars. The scantily clad events popping up across the city's nightlife scene are more wholesome than you think. I mean, what's wholesome about it? I'm not getting into the bulk of this. Apparently, they're doing away with trivia, and it's new drawings.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like D.C. has a, you know, sexual perversion problem or anything on rampant. I mean, what could go wrong? Yeah, so, you know, there's this wholesome thing where, like, especially, like, ladies will have, like, this wine night at a local brewery and, you know, they'll draw, like, a sunset or something like this. So
yeah, they'll try, it's wine and something or other. Yeah, they'll try to recreate a famous painting.
Like a
Van
paint
Gogh.
night. You know, they'll come in, they'll see
Paint
like,
the night.
Yeah, whatever. So now you're gonna walk into a DC fucking bar. There's gonna be a nude lady, nude dude, maybe a combo, maybe a trifecta, a dude who wants to be a lady, who this is that, and you're gonna go in now, and that's gonna be the night's entertainment, and like instead of like, what was Dwight Schrute's cousin's name on The Office? What are we doing? What are we doing? I get it if you're
different pencil strokes for different folks, I guess.
Whatever. I don't know. Maybe I'm a prude. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say that I particularly agree or disagree with it. The fact that like it's uprooting bar trivia, I'd have to see some data on that to see if that's in fact the case.
I guess
I'm
point
sure
is
bar trivia is alive and well in any city.
I'm guessing that bar trivia is just getting stale. Maybe it might still be a thing, but it's just not drawing. No pun intended. I think that has to do with the latter half millennials not drinking as much or not knowing as much because
yeah.
I mean, no shade. It's just that
no one wins the award for bar trivia. No one. There's no. Perhaps there's a free beer or a free appetizer if you happen to place or win bar trivia, but there's no life. There's no life goal about being the best at bar trivia.
Well, not just that. I'm thinking that like the new generation, and again, no shade to them. It's just that they have no reason to remember anything anymore.
Because it's all at the whims of your finger.
Yeah, like there's no reason to like lock that. Like you with that fucking movie that you said about 20 minutes ago.
Bedazzled, by the way.
Yeah,
Brendan Fraser. It's a great movie.
I was around for all of Brendan Fraser's fucking like initial career, up until his resurgence recently. I don't remember Bedazzled. I mean, that's a great pull. I'm not hating on you for it. I'm like almost frustrated that I have no idea what you're talking about. But that's coming from somebody who had to remember things. This generation doesn't have to remember anything. It's IMDb, Wikipedia. I often wonder if they even know why Wikipedia is called Wikipedia. I don't know if they even understand it. Like, there was a time where there was books called
Encyclopedia.
Exactly.
Yes.
I don't even know what Wiki stands for.
Don't even throw in Britannica. I might be like, what? Well, that was a person, right? I thought Britannica was a person.
I'm sure it was. I mean, Encyclopedia Britannica. I mean, I think Mr. Britannica, maybe he like compiled all of this information. It's
a publishing company.
Okay. All right. Well, that makes sense as well. And that's fine. I'm sure Mr. Britannica started a publishing company. But I always think about how lucky we were as kids to like I think we had 2 editions of an Encyclopedia Britannica, like one from like I think my dad was gifted an encyclopedia set when he went to college, and I think he bought one for my mom when she went back to college, like in the 80s. And so we had 2 sets. And I remember, I don't know why, but I remember as a kid, I looked up the same information in one volume and another in like the volume like 20 years later, and there was a difference.
Right.
We learned something. But if you only had one volume, that's it, and it was outdated, that was fact to you, because at one point that was fact.
Yeah. I think I've told this on the podcast before. We talked my dad drunk into ordering Encyclopedia Britannica once, but like, I don't know, 11 o'clock on a Saturday. And I was like, hey, we should get some of that. He's like, yeah, you guys want to learn? I'm like, yeah, you bet. Yeah. And so we called the 1-800 number, and a week later, 2 men in suits were in our living room selling us a full fucking version. $1,200 later.
Oh, fuck me. Yeah. Wow, dude. That's like $5,000 by... That's like $5,000 by today's standards.
I never wanted to say, hey, you don't have to do this. I could have as a 9-year-old, but the fact that my drunk dad was like, no, we should get someone out for this house. And yeah, my mom when these guys showed up, very nice, very polite. And they weren't even really salesmen. They were just kind of more ambassadors for the Britannica brand. And my mom was like, yeah, let's get that. Let's get that for this. We have young men in the house who are trying to learn and educate themselves. And let's fill the bookshelves.
God bless them, man. Seriously. I don't think that's a decision that most American parents would make for their kids today.
Today? No. Why would you? I wouldn't do it. It's at your fingertips.
Sans the internet, though. Like,
okay.
I mean, even if the internet didn't, I just don't know. I don't know that that's an expense that would seem worthwhile. And no offense to you, but like, I mean, your brother's a fucking reader, man. Like, I know he went through those motherfuckers, and whatever paycheck he's making now, whatever, but
yeah.
he used them to get where he is right now, and God bless him for it. I know I've used the phrase "no shade" a lot tonight, but like,
that's right.
No shade to him. Like, I mean, yeah, that's a lot of money, but and seriously, God bless your parents for being like, no, having knowledge is an important thing.
No, Foxy, making an 11 o'clock drunk phone call to Encyclopedia wasn't a bad decision. This is sound.
God, man, that's one of those ones where, like, you got a time machine.
Yeah, dude.
What event would you go back to? I want to be in the...
If I have, like a cloak over me that makes me invisible, I want to be in that living room.
It's like a bubble where no one can see you, but you can see everything else. Yeah, I would want to go to the Fox family fucking living room.
Yeah, that's right.
At that exact moment.
Hey, we should get some of those.
12 Heinekens deep. Yeah, we should.
You know what? I want my household to be smart. I'm calling.
Oh, that's so great.
Yeah. Well, there you have new drawings in DC, folks. By the way, I wanted to share this with you. Was one of the not one of the models, but the moderator, I guess, leading the people through what to draw. And his quote: "For 2 minutes, keep your pencil moving on the page. Pause. This round, draw only with your non-dominant hand. Now, draw the negative space or what's around a model." Yeah.
Oh my God.
Come on.
I'm just gonna look at titties and fucking drink Heinekens.
That's it. Like, now everyone show your drawing. It's a stick figure with massive tits. This is my rendition of what I had tonight. I call it thin model with huge honkers.
What are those abstract splotches all over the paper?
That's right. I call this goo art.
Oh, shit.
All right. Damn. Splashed all the fancy pants all over my hand. No pun intended there. Fancy pants is the beer that I'm drinking. Sorry. Anyway, that's all the time we have for the Middle Class Holes. Alan will join us next week. After that, can't quite say because it's a lucid schedule, so we'll figure it out as we go. Thank you all for tuning. You can find the Middle Class Holes on all your social media platforms: Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, at the Middle Class Holes. You can also find us on Gmail at tickleourtummies@gmail.com. Tell your friends, tell all your encyclopedia wanderers, tell your family, tell your brothers, tell your sisters, tell everyone, whomever. Take it easy, folks. Tell that hot aunt that wants to be down in DC on a Tuesday. See you.